Hi folks, and welcome back to Meaningful Money. Okay, I'm here on Penzance Prom, another windy day, and high tide behind me, and it's like a higher than normal high tide, if you see what I mean. So it's you may see some water coming over the wall there. There's every chance I might get wet, so hopefully not. So we've talked about our 5 factors which should inform your choice of retirement income. It's those things to get right first. Then your advisor can help funnel your choices into one of your many options as to what form that retirement income will take. So we're going to get into what those choices are now, and look at the pros and cons of each, how they work, and the sort of people who might choose those options. As ever though, before we get into the meat of that, my good friends down here in the bottom right, that's 7 Investment Management, they very kindly sponsor Meaningful Money. Bit of windy pops there, I think I covered it well. They sponsor Meaningful Money, and I'm ever so grateful to them for doing so. So thank you very much, chaps. So your first option for retirement income is this. Ready? Drum roll, please. It's to do nothing, okay? Or to give it its proper term, deferring your pension, deferment. And it's a valid option, okay? There's many reasons why you may choose not to take a retirement income. Chances are, if you're anything like many of our clients, you perhaps took out a personal pension 20 years ago, wrote it to age 65, and when you get to age 65, you get a letter with a huge pack saying it's time to choose. One of your options, one of your choices, is to do nothing. There you go, see the water? And so it's a perfectly valid option. So let's look at the pros and cons of each. I'm going to sort of scooch along a little bit so we can put some words in. So the pros first. Well, the first sort of benefit of doing nothing is that your fund remains invested, which means that if markets go up, your fund will go up, which means your income in the future may be higher than it would be if you took it now. So your fund remains invested. Secondly, if you defer buying an annuity, which is just one of your retirement options, if you put that off, then the rate you get when you take out an annuity may get better if you leave it rather than making the decision now. It might get better. Certainly it'll get a little bit better because you're getting older, but the general rate, there was a huge wave came over just there, I don't suppose you saw that one. The general rate that you get could well get better if you defer it. And the third sort of positive, if you like, of not doing anything now is that you may in the future benefit, in inverted commas, from your health being in less good shape, because you may be able to get an impaired life annuity, again something we'll come back to and cover in more detail, and get a better annuity rate because you're in worse health than you are now. So 3 reasons why deferment might not be a bad idea. Well, let's look at the downsides, and 2 of them you might imagine are the flip sides of the pros that we've just talked about. The first con, though, if you like, of deferment is that you'll have no income. So if you defer taking an income, you'll have no income. Now, your circumstances will dictate whether or not this is an option or not, but it's a pretty obvious downside of deferring taking your pension is that you won't be able to spend, eat, and enjoy that money. Secondly, though, it's the first of our flip sides, is that annuity rates may worsen. They may go against you. All sorts of reasons why that might happen. Annuity rates are governed by various forces. But if you defer taking an annuity now, it may be that you'll get less income if you do so in the future than you would if you took it now. It's a risk, which we covered that actually in our risks 5 or 6 videos ago now. And the third con, if you like, is that your fund may go down. Because it remains invested, markets might move against you, and so you may have less of a pension fund in a year's time than you do now if markets move badly. So some pros and cons there. Now, what sort of circumstances might you be in where you would defer? Well, maybe there's sort of an imminent change to your circumstances. Maybe there's something sort of pretty major going on, like maybe you're moving house and moving across the country, or something big is happening with your kids. Well, that might be a reason just to say, look, let's delay things 6 months or a year or whatever. Maybe that you just don't need the income. Maybe you haven't stopped work yet. You remember, retirement is not about stopping work, it's about converting your pension funds into an income. So maybe you just don't need the income, in which case, why not defer? Perhaps you're under investigation for health reasons and you're waiting some results perhaps for some tests. Well, now is probably not the time to be making a big decision about your retirement income. Perhaps it would be worth delaying that until you know the results of those tests. So these are the sort of kinds of circumstances, all pretty common sense really, why you might not decide to take an income from your pensions now. So we talked about the pros and cons, but those are the reasons why you might not do so. So we're now going to move into what your active choices are, okay, the things you can actually decide to do rather than decide not to do. Starting with sort of basic lifetime annuities. So from very windy and cold Penzance Prom, I'm going to get into the office now and edit this up. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.